Hi, I'm Ken Stasiak, CEO of SecureState, and this is State of Security. So everyone's talking about HealthcareGov, and everyone's talking about the insecurities and the privacy and it going up and down. So let's cut it down to the facts. Facts are we know the site's unstable, which is going to lead into the day that it got launched was the best time that it had security. As it moves into trying to get stable, they're going to start pulling back security, whether it's encryption, whether it's connection to other databases that they're linking up to. They're going to start removing security components from there. So when it gets stable and it gets released, it's going to have the worst security it's ever had. And then they're going to start adding security to it. That's common. We see that every day. How long that's going to take? Unknown. But what we do know is you don't really have a choice. You're going to have to log in. You're going to have to start using the system in order to get that healthcare coverage, especially if we're hearing all these people starting to get their coverage taken away by the insurance providers. What's your option? How do you combat that? Well, as a consumer, you should probably be looking at what you're doing and how your information is being used. So look at your credit reports. If you have the option, go get LifeLock or Quizzle, which is a really nice program. Allows you to do not only credit monitoring, but it also looks at if you could save money on your mortgage and provides you real-time statistics on your credit reports. So those are two good ways that if you're going to have to use healthcare.gov, here's some ways that you can protect yourself in the future. So NIST has been talking about this cybersecurity framework, and Obama actually started to meet with some CEOs behind closed doors to talk about how do we get cybersecurity and a framework for security to private America. And of course, we've written a blog, which we'll link to, on the, basically the Consumer Research Index and how they adopt. And so we don't need another framework. Please, we have enough. The problem is the adoption of the frameworks. Awareness is high on cybersecurity. The adoption level's low. So Barack picked this up and said, yeah, we need cybersecurity, and how are we going to get this implemented into the private sector? Let's be honest. The only way someone's going to do something is if they have to. And the government has the ability to come in with a stick and say, if you don't follow these frameworks and you don't start adopting to them, we're going to tax you. It's an externality on consumers. Corporations don't do something, it causes harm to the consumers. So in order to balance that, we're going to add a tax to that. And if they did that, you'll see the adoption rate on the frameworks we already currently have much higher, and they don't need another framework, they need a way to enforce it. So we're hiring, well, not just us, but the industry as a whole. So security is looking for people, the United States government, private sector, public, everyone. How come we can't find them? Well, a big problem is that we're finding a recent article that young people may not want to go into cybersecurity or may not know about it. And this is a big problem. With the 53% growth to 2018, we're going to find that there's going to be a lag of people that have the skill sets and have the ability to do the work and the demand. So if you're in economics, supply and demand, we're going to be in a low supply of resources that can provide this. So what can we do? Well, education, awareness, but change the persona in security. Right now it's got a dark persona. You have to be this hacker. You have to be this thing that really, in order to do it, you have to almost do it illegally before you can do it legally. And we have to change that. We need more people that want business degrees, more business focused, that want to get in security and help the community as a whole grow, not just break into systems. PCI-DSS 3.0. Sounds foreign? Probably don't care. For those that do, this is an exciting time, especially for the audit and compliance guys. They get all geeked up, they have little parties about what's going on, and this is kind of exciting. So PCI is coming out, releasing new requirements, updating their old requirements, and what is the focus? Well, the focus is really business as usual. PCI wants to see not only are you compliant at the time the auditor comes in or that you sign your SAQ, self-assessment questionnaire, they want to see that you're compliant throughout the year. And one of the things they're going to key focus on for people that do ROCs and issue report on compliance is the effectiveness of the controls. So we're going to have, and we're going to see the controls and just being compliant are starting to teeter off, and the effectiveness of controls are ramping up. This means for 2014, 15, and 16, increase budgets for PCI. It's coming, we're going to have to spend more. And if over the last 4 years your PCI costs have gone down, I'm sure your CFO is expecting that for the next 3 years. That trend's not going to happen. We have to build in effectiveness. We just had a seminar on it. Check it out. It talked about PFI, PCI-DSS 3.0, and what this all means. So coming up, we have our campaign on MSSP. And this is interesting for the managed security service providers. What does this mean? What's the security around it? In the presentation we have for PFI, we realize that you may not be getting what you're paying for. And specifically, how do you know what to look for, and how do you test your MSSP to make sure you're getting the most, and more importantly, when you need them, they're there. So if you use an MSSP now and you want to know how you can maximize the effectiveness of that, and really, unfortunately, make sure they're there when you need them, we're going to have a webinar. Check it out. It's going to be awesome. I'm Ken Stasiak. This has been the State of Security.